Okay, mamas, we are talking organ prolapse today. So this is something that is fairly common. If you have it, don't think you are broken. Do not think anything is wrong with you. We're gonna go over kind of what it is, what you can do to, or what the symptoms may be, things that will help you with prolapse symptoms. And then I'm gonna give you just a few examples of exercises that will help strengthen your body to help kind of avoid those prolapse symptoms, but also they're gonna be great modifications if you are trying to work out with a prolapse. So let's dive in. Yes, I'm reading from my notes. I don't wanna miss anything important. So first things first, what is a prolapse? Hopefully you have seen, if you think that you have one, I'm gonna go ahead and pause right now. If you think you have a prolapse, do not let me be the one that diagnoses you. I'm not your doctor. So if you think you have one, please, 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 please not only seek your OBGYN, your healthcare professional, but reach out to a pelvic floor physical therapist, please, because she will be able to help you. I'm not your doctor. I can just give you tips and tricks and kind of guide you through it. So continuing on, what is a prolapse? Pelvic organ prolapse occurs when one or more pelvic organs, so this can be the bladder, the bowel, the uterus on top of your vagina, descend into the vagina from their normal positions. This can happen when the muscles and tissues of the pelvic floor become weakened or damaged, which, as we know from pregnancy, definitely happens. So that being said, I hope that if you have one and you're like, ugh, why did this happen to me? Listen, all of our pelvic floors are weak and to a degree damaged until we repair them after having a baby and after pregnancy. So you are not alone. Nothing is wrong with you. This is common, okay? So your symptoms may be pressure or heaviness in the pelvic area, incontinence or leaking, so peeing when you can't help it, or feeling like your bladder isn't emptied or feeling like it's still full after emptying it, difficulty or pain inserting a tampon, painful sex, lower back pain, and then constipation or other issues with pooping. Treatment depends on the severity of your prolapse as well as the organs affected, but you can sometimes avoid treatment. So if that's the case, if you've already seen your doctor, you've already seen a pelvic floor physical therapist, chances are she's giving you some exercises, but this is kind of where I come into play and I can guide you through this with a few, like I said, tips and tricks. So after you've seen your doctor, after you've seen a pelvic floor physical therapist, and maybe she's giving you some things, other things that you can do. Cue me. Building strength can help prolapse symptoms, which may seem kind of ironic if you're like, okay, well, I have this, shouldn't I not work out? No, you need to be cautious with what exercises or paying attention to what exercises maybe make it feel worse, make it feel better, but we need you to be strong. Motherhood comes with exercises throughout the entire day. You are hinging, you are bending, you are squatting, you are rowing, you are doing all of these exercises throughout your day. If you are weak while doing those things in motherhood, just those daily regular movements, you're not helping your prolapse. So we need you to be strong. We need to strengthen muscles to help improve prolapse symptoms. So our daily life, it's unavoidable to be doing some of those exercises. So all of these regular, just daily activities can actually place more pressure on our pelvic floor and on our prolapse. And if you are not strong enough to tolerate the demand of that, then it's just going to worsen that prolapse. So to wrap that first point up, you need to be strong, mom. Second thing is you want to be strong, but you also want to approach your training with intention. So modifying when you need to, which I'll go over, changing up your breathing, which I'll go over, really paying attention to which exercises feel good, which ones don't. There is no set list of, if you've got prolapse, don't do this, or if you've got prolapse, do this. So that's kind of where this can get tricky. Depends on each individual, depends on which organs have been affected. So it's up to you. I wish I could give you just like a cookie cutter, don't do this, this, and this, but that's just not how it works. We're all so different. So you just have to really pay attention to the workouts that you're doing, what is affecting them, what makes it feel worse, all of that. So don't be afraid to get stronger. Pay attention to the exercises that you are doing. This really is how your body responds and it's dependent on how your body responds and your awareness of your body, okay? You do want to try to be lifting more than what your daily life entails. For example, if you have a 25-pound toddler, it's best to try and practice these daily movements with around 25 pounds. So don't be picking up, obviously, if you're far enough postpartum. This is after this program, by the way. If you are wanting to dive back into a full body workout or a lower body workout and you have a prolapse, then think about the weights that you're using in your everyday life. So 25-pound toddler, let's try to squat with 25 pounds. What you can do to modify that squat, we will go over in a second, okay? Which actually we'll dive into right now. So one thing is learning how to manage the pressure, because that's kind of what we're wanting to avoid with prolapse, is that pressure that we're feeling on it. So we're just gonna continue on with this squat example, all right? So if you're wanting to squat, that's a move that you do every day during motherhood. How many times a day do you squat down and you have to pick something up? For me, all of the time. So I wanna be strong in my squat, and a lot of the times I'm holding E while doing that, and E weighs like 27 pounds. So ideally I'm able to squat with a 27-pound weight, or 25, 30. If I have prolapse though, I may want to shorten that range of motion, okay, which I'll show you all what I mean by that. And then you want to manage the pressure. A good way to manage the pressure is to think about your breathing. So a lot of times, or not a lot of times, if you have a good trainer, they have taught you to inhale on the way down and then exhale on the way up. So we're gonna switch that up with a prolapse, because I want you exhaling throughout the entire exertion of the move. So what that will look like is, so if we're squatting, typically we are inhaling, exhaling. With the prolapse, we're going to inhale and then exhale, 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 exhale. What that's doing on that exhale is lengthening your pelvic floor, so it's relaxing your pelvic floor on the way down, so there's not as much pressure on it. This is all about pressure. So if you have a prolapse, manage your pressure, and you want to exhale throughout the exertion of every exercise. So another way to kind of work around prolapse is to continue on with the squat, to shorten the range of motion. So if a full range of motion squat, what I just did, hurts or puts pressure on your prolapse, irritates it, whatever, then we're gonna do a box squat. So you're just gonna shorten that range of motion. So what that will look like is, instead of squatting all the way down, like I just did, you're going to have something to stop your squat on, so that you just stop right here and then back up, okay? So again, it's less pressure, and that'll help you avoid some of that pain with that prolapse. So those are two things right there that you can already start doing. Next up is to build hip and glute strength to support your pelvic floor. This is a not even shameless ad for Booty After Baby. Y'all, Booty After Baby is a postpartum program for this reason. We've got to have strong hips and glutes for postpartum. We have to have it. Every postpartum trainer will tell you this. One thing that we want to do is prioritize single leg strength during our workouts with a prolapse, just because a lot of times if we do have a prolapse, it typically means one adductor may be stronger than the other one. So adductor is this inner muscle right here. And then single leg exercises, like I just said, are great as well. So anything that's a single leg adduction movement, which some of them, unfortunately, you're gonna have to be fully healed in order to do, but one that you can do right now is laying on your side, okay? And then you're going to lift up this leg closest to the ground, right here like that. That's working your adductor, okay? One side's gonna feel weaker than the other. That's just how our body is. We want to strengthen those adductors, okay? So by squeezing a ball together when doing single leg adduction exercises as well. Another exercise that you can do is a lateral lunge. So for that, you can do, you'll step out right here like this and work on that adductor. Okay, so you're stretching right here and then strengthening this adductor, which leads me to the third thing that can help you, which is doing supported exercises. So like the box squat, or if you are needing to do a lunge, like I just showed you, then you can hold on to something. Okay, so right here like that. So I'm working my adductor and then I'm holding on for support, which is also taking off some of the workload from my body, therefore taking away some of the pressure for that prolapse. Okay, so our options are reducing the range of motion, working on breath, okay, so exhaling through the exertion of the exercise, building hip and glute mobility, and then using support throughout exercises. So holding on to something, or doing a box squat so that that's 2 in 1, supporting you and then changing or shortening the range of motion. Another example of changing range of motion would be, instead of doing a chest press on a bench where your arms go all the way down, doing it flat on the floor, your arms just go to right here. So shortening that range of motion. Option is switching up how you load the exercise, paying attention to how you're loading an exercise. So when you load an exercise, you know, maybe you're picking up your weight and you're swinging it up like this and you're swinging it up like this. If that hurts, then let's not maybe do that, okay? Another option would be to pick up the weights from your weight rack and then set them down on something supported, okay? So that the next time you need it, instead of having to pick them up from the ground and slug them up, you're just slightly hinging down and picking them up from there, okay? So paying attention to how you're loading an exercise. Those are all of our things. This is all typed out below, so if you didn't want to sit here and listen to me kind of ramble through this, just read below, okay? But please do keep in mind the important parts of this. Nothing is wrong with your body. This is repairable. And please, please, please seek out a pelvic floor PT before diagnosing yourself with prolapse, because she's gonna know, I can't diagnose you and I don't want you self-diagnosing. So reach out to your great pelvic floor physical therapist and let her help you. Prolapse is repairable. It will feel better. You can stop peeing yourself. We can make sex more enjoyable and less painful. All of these symptoms that you may be feeling, I promise they will not last forever. You are doing great, mama. I'm so proud of you.